Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more coin tips and hidden treasures. Today, we're diving into the 1965 Lincoln penny, a coin that might look like just another common penny, but in reality, it could be worth a lot more than you think. Rarest coins. You might be asking, what's so special about a 1965 penny? Well, buckle up because today we'll uncover some of the rare 1965 pennies that could make you some serious cash. From rare coins to high-grade specimens, you'll want to stick around for this one. 1. The basics of the 1965 Lincoln penny. Let's start with a quick refresher on the 1965 Lincoln penny. The design of the penny hasn't changed much over the years, with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that's been in use since 1959. But what makes the 1965 penny unique? Well, 1965 was the first year the U.S. Mint stopped using the old, familiar silver in its coinage, and the penny continued to be made of copper, 95%, and zinc, 5%. This is important because, as we'll see, some 1965 pennies might be more valuable due to rarer varieties or their condition. On camera holding a regular 1965 penny, most 1965 pennies you come across will look just like this, copper-colored, with visible wear from being circulated. However, what you might not know is that there are rare varieties of this coin that could be worth significantly more than face value. $4 million rarest coins. 2. What's the value of a regular 1965 penny? So, what is a regular, well-worn 1965 penny worth? If your penny is like most found in circulation, it's worth exactly 1 cent. Unfortunately, worn-out coins in common condition like this won't fetch much more than face value. $4 million rarest coins. On camera holding a circulated 1965 penny. If you've got a 1965 penny like this one, don't get too excited. While it might have historical significance, you won't be making much money with the regular circulated coin. 3. The 1965 Lincoln penny in high grades. Now, things get interesting. If you happen to have a 1965 penny in excellent condition, it could be worth more than face value. Coins in higher grade, as meaning those with less wear and clearer details, are worth significantly more. On camera holding a pristine 1965 penny, take a look at this one. It's in nearly mint condition, with sharp features and minimal wear. A coin like this could be worth anywhere from $1 to $5 if it's in a grade like MS65. The higher the grade, the more valuable the penny. Rarest coins. To give you a better idea, if your 1965 Lincoln penny is graded as MS66 or MS67, it could easily be worth $10 to $20 or more. And that's just for a regular penny in excellent condition, no errors involved. 4. Rare 1965 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark. Did you know that the mint mark on a coin can affect its value? If you've got a 1965 penny with a D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, it could be worth a bit more than one without aone, especially if it's in good condition. On camera holding a 1965 D penny. Here's a 1965 D penny. The mint mark, located just below the date, tells us it was made in Denver. While most 1965 D pennies are still fairly common, the condition and scarcity of high-grade examples can drive the price up. High-grade 1965 D pennies can be worth anywhere from $5 to $10, and sometimes even more if the coin is nearly perfect and graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Rarest coins. 5. The 1965 double die obverse error penny. Here's where things get really exciting. Error coins. One of the most sought-after errors in the 1965 Lincoln penny series is the double die obverse. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts, causing the design to appear doubled in certain areas, such as the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. On camera holding a 1965 penny with visible doubling on Liberty and In God We Trust. Check this out. You can clearly see the doubling on Liberty and In God We Trust. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that's hiding right under your nose, The 1967 Lincoln penny. While most people think of pennies as being pretty common and of little value, today I'm going to show you why some 1967 pennies can actually be worth a lot of money. So, if you've got a 1967 penny lying around, or maybe even a whole jar of them, stick around. We'll dive deep into what makes some 1967 pennies rare, valuable, and highly sought after by collectors. Trust me, you might just have a hidden treasure in your pocket. Rarest coins. 1. A quick overview of the 1967 Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the specifics, let's take a brief look at the history behind the 1967 Lincoln penny. The design of the Lincoln penny hasn't changed much over the years. The obverse features President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and the reverse has the familiar Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which first appeared in 1959. Rarest coins in 1967, the penny was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, just like most pennies produced before 1982. This copper composition gives the coin a reddish color and weight that collectors find interesting, especially when compared to the modern pennies made primarily of zinc. On camera holding a regular 1967 Lincoln penny. But the real question is, what makes certain 1967 pennies worth a lot more than 1 cent? Let's get into the details. 2. Common 1967 Lincoln penny. What's it worth? Let's start with the most common scenario, a regular, circulated 1967 penny. If your penny looks like these, a scratched, worn, or a little faded up, it's probably worth just its face value of 1 cent. That's right, most 1967 pennies you find in your spare change won't fetch you much more than that. On camera holding a worn 1967 penny. But don't get discouraged just yet. Even though most circulated pennies aren't worth much, there are some key factors that could make your 1967 penny stand out from the crowd. 3. High-grade 1967 Lincoln penny. How condition affects value. $3 million rarest coins. Now, what if your 1967 penny is in near mint or mint condition? Well, that's where things start to get interesting. Pennies in better condition, especially those that are well preserved, with clear, sharp details, are always worth more than their worn-out counterparts. Rarest coins. On camera holding a high-grade 1967 Lincoln penny. Here's a 1967 penny that's in fantastic shape. You can see the sharp details on the Lincoln portrait and the Lincoln Memorial. This coin has been kept in great condition, which makes it far more valuable than the average penny. If your 1967 penny is graded at MS 65 or higher, it could be worth anywhere from $2 to $5. But if the coin is graded at MS 66 or even MS 67, it could be worth $10 to $20 or more. The better the condition, the higher the premium collectors are willing to pay. 4. The 1967 double die penny. A rare and valuable error. Now we're getting to the good stuff. One of the most valuable types of errors you can find on a 1967 penny is the double die obverse. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts or misaligns during production, causing the design to appear doubled. The doubling often happens on key areas like the date, the word liberty, or in God we trust. On camera holding a 1967 double die penny with clear doubling on liberty and in God we trust. Check out this 1967 penny. You can clearly see the doubling on liberty and in God we trust. This is a classic double die error, and it can make the coin much more valuable to collectors. A 1967 double die penny can be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or even more, depending on the severity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. Some of the most dramatic double die errors can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. 5. The 1967 off-center error penny. Another exciting error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the day. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector or just someone who loves finding hidden treasures in your change, you're in for a treat today. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1971 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin, but one that could be worth a lot of money depending on a few key factors. Rarest coins. Cut to a close-up of a 1971 penny. Most of us probably don't give our pennies a second thought. After all, they're just 1 cent, right? But here's the thing. Not all pennies are created equal, and some can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And the 1971 Lincoln penny is a perfect example. Text on screen. 1971 Lincoln penny. Is it worth more than face value? Let's start with the basics. The 1971 Lincoln penny, part of the Memorial Series, was minted by the U.S. Mint in large quantities, over 5 billion of them, to be exact. So, on the surface, it might seem like just another common penny that's not worth much more than 1 cent. But here's where things get interesting. Cut to close-up shots of a 1971 penny being flipped, showing both sides. First off, the 1971 penny features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the memorial building on the reverse side. Nothing too unusual here, right? But the story of why some 1971 pennies can be worth far more than their face value lies in a few key factors, and it's all about rarity, condition, and minting errors. While 1971 pennies were produced in enormous quantities, there's one important thing to consider when determining a coin's value: demand. You see, coins from certain years and mints can be in high demand among collectors, even if they were produced in large numbers. Cut to images of large batches of pennies being minted at the U.S. Mint. For the 1971 penny, the majority of those coins are worth just their face value or slightly more. But here's the catch. Some 1971 pennies were struck on incorrect plan case, or they might have been made with unique characteristics that make them rare and valuable. Keep in mind that rarity can often be what makes a coin valuable, not just how many were made, but how few of them survived in exceptional condition. Speaking of condition, this is another critical factor in determining the value of any coin. A 1971 penny that's been sitting in your change jar for decades might be worn down, scratched, or damaged, and that'll significantly reduce its value. In fact, most 1971 pennies you come across will likely be worth just their 1 cent face value. Cut to shots of worn out and scratched pennies next to pristine, uncirculated ones. But, if you happen to find one in mint state, that means it's almost flawless, with no visible wear, scratches, or discoloration. Then you're in for a potential windfall. A 1971 penny in mint state could be worth anywhere from a couple of dollars to several hundred, depending on the exact grade it's given by professional coin graders. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some 1971 pennies were minted with errors, and these are the ones that could make you a lot of money. Let's go over a few of the most valuable varieties and mistakes to look out for. Cut to a close-up of a penny showing signs of error. Text on screen. Error coins. Rarest coins. First up, double die errors. A double die occurs when the design is struck more than once during the minting process, causing the image on the coin to appear doubled. These errors are often noticeable on the lettering or on Lincoln's face. A 1971 penny with the double die error can be worth a lot more than a regular penny, sometimes fetching several $100s at auction. Zoom in on a 1971 double die penny, highlighting the double letters. Next, there are off-center strikes. These happen when the penny isn't properly aligned during the minting process. This results in a coin that looks like it's been cut off on one side. While these aren't as common as double die errors, they can still fetch hundreds of dollars in the right condition. Cut to a shot of an off-center 1971 penny. And finally, another error to look out for is the clipped plankett. This occurs when a penny is struck with the plankett that was improperly cut before being minted, resulting in a coin that looks like it has a chunk missing. While rare, a clipped 1971 penny can also be worth hundreds of dollars. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're going to talk about a penny you probably have sitting in your pocket change right now, with the 1991 Lincoln penny. While it may seem like just another common coin, the 1991 penny can actually be worth a lot more than 1 cent. And in today's video, I'm going to show you why some 1991 pennies are highly sought after by collectors, and how you can tell if yours is worth a small fortune. Cut to close-up of a 1991 Lincoln penny being flipped, showing both the obverse and reverse sides. So, let's get right into it. Stay tuned, because I'll be giving you all the tips you need to spot a potentially valuable 1991 penny and show you what makes certain ones worth far more than face value. $1 million rarest coins. Before we get into the details, let's start with the basics. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted by the United States Mint as part of the Memorial Series. That means it features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the back. Cut to a close-up shot of a 1991 penny being examined. In 1991, the U.S. Mint produced over 7 billion of these pennies, so in terms of raw numbers, they are not exactly rare. But here's the thing. Rarity alone doesn't determine value. What truly matters is the condition of the coin, specific errors, and demand from collectors. Text on screen. 7 billion pennies produced, but some are worth much more. Now, let's talk about condition. A coin's value is heavily influenced by its condition, and that's true for the 1991 penny as well. As you probably know, most pennies you find in circulation will be worn down or damaged to some extent. The more wear a coin has, the less valuable it is. So this is true for almost any coin. Cut to side-by-side comparison of a worn 1991 penny and a mint state one. However, if you find a 1991 penny that is in pristine condition, and we're talking about a coin that has no scratches, dings, or discoloration, then it could be worth far more than its face value. Zoom in on a high-grade, uncirculated 1991 penny. Rarest coins. Coins that have never been used in circulation are graded as mint state or proved coins. A 1991 penny in mint state, MS65 or higher, could be worth anywhere from $1 to $10, depending on the exact grade. But if you happen to have one in proof condition, the value could be even higher. Text on screen. Mint state coins, MS65 or higher. Now, here's where things get really interesting. A lot of people don't realize that minting errors can make a seemingly ordinary penny worth a lot of money, and the 1991 penny is no exception. Let's talk about some of the most notable errors to watch for. Cut to shots of a magnified 1991 penny showing different error types. First up, the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin is struck more than once by the die, causing certain features of the designator like the letters in A Liberty or the year A 1990 aone to appear doubled. This is one of the most common types of error for coins and can add significant value to a penny. Zoom in on a 1991 double die penny, pointing out the double letters and year. A 1991 penny with the double die error in high grade can fetch anywhere from $50 to $200, and sometimes even more, depending on how pronounced the doubling is. So, always check the lettering and dates closely to see if you have one of these rare coins. Text on screen. Double die error. A look for double letters. Next up, off-center strikes. This happens when the penny is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a coin with one side that's cut off or misaligned. An off-center 1991 penny, especially one that's significantly off-center, can be quite valuable. An off-center 1991 penny in good condition can easily sell for $50 to $100, and more if the error is more extreme. If you happen to find a penny like this, make sure to get it professionally graded to determine its true value. $1 million rarest coins. Now, there's another important distinction to look for when it comes to 1991 pennies: the close AM versus wide AM variety. This is one of the most famous varieties for the 1991 Lincoln penny. And, hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're going to talk about a penny that you might overlook in your pocket change. The 1978 Lincoln penny. It might seem like a regular coin, but believe it or not, some 1978 pennies are worth far more than just 1 cent. And in today's video, I'm going to show you why certain 1978 pennies can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars set, and how to tell if you've got one of these valuable treasures. Text on screen. 1978 Lincoln penny. Could it be worth a lot of money? Let's start with the basics. The 1978 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 until 2008. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial, a design that has become iconic in American coinage. Cut to a close-up shot of a 1978 penny, flipping it to show both sides. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these pennies, so on the surface, it might seem like just another common coin. But as any seasoned coin collector knows, there's more to determining a coin's value than just its rarity. Factors like condition, minting errors, and even specific varieties can make all the difference in how much a penny is worth. Text on screen. Over 6 billion 1978 pennies produced. Let's talk about condition. The value of a 1978 penny is heavily influenced by its condition. In the world of coin collecting, the term a condition refers to how well the coin has been preserved over the years. A well-worn penny might not be worth much more than face value, but a penny in exceptional condition could be worth a lot more. Cut to side-by-side comparisons of a well-worn 1978 penny and a mint state example. If you've got a 1978 penny that looks almost brand new, all sharp details, no noticeable wear, and with the smooth, shiny surface, that's what collectors call a mint state coin. Pennies like this are the ones you'll want to keep an eye on, because they can be worth several dollars, or even more depending on the specific grade. Text on screen. Mint state A coins with sharp details and no wear. On the flip side, a penny that has been in circulation for years, especially one with significant wear, scratches, or discoloration, will be worth close to its face value, so be sure to examine your pennies carefully before deciding whether it's a keeper. Now here's where things get interesting. Minting errors. Some 1978 pennies were struck with mistakes during the minting process, and these errors can make a seemingly ordinary coin incredibly valuable. Cut to a magnified shot of a penny showing signs of an error. Let's go over the types of minting errors that can make a 1978 Lincoln penny worth much more than its face value. $1 million rarest coins. One of the most common types of errors to look for in a 1978 penny is the double die error. A double die happens when the coin is struck more than once by the die, causing certain features to appear doubled. The most common places to find doubling are the date, the lettering, and the motto e pluribus unum on the reverse. Cut to a 1978 penny with a visible double die error, highlighting the double letters and date. Check out the A Liberty and A In God We Trust inscriptions. If you notice that they appear doubled, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. A 1978 penny with a double die error can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on the severity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. Text on screen. Double die error. A look for doubling on letters and numbers. Next up, off-center strikes. These occur when the penny isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or cut off on one side. An off-center 1978 penny can be pretty valuable, especially if it's dramatically misaligned. Cut to a 1978 penny with an off-center strike. Off-center 1978 pennies can be worth anywhere from $50 to $150, and the more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin. Just make sure that the coin is still in good condition, as wear can decrease its value. $1 million rarest coins. Another error to look for is a clipped plankett. This occurs when a penny is struck with the plankett that was improperly cut before. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. In today's video, we're diving into the world of the 1972 Lincoln penny, a coin that may seem like just another penny, but some of these are actually worth way more than just 1 cent. So, if you have any 1972 pennies in your collection, or if you've recently found one in your pocket change, just stick around, because some of these pennies could be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. I'm going to show you how to spot valuable 1972 Lincoln pennies and how to tell if yours is one of them. Text on screen. The 1972 Lincoln penny. Could it be worth a lot of money? Rarest coins. Let's start with the basics. The 1972 Lincoln penny is part of the Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait, and on the reverse, You've got the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Cut to a close-up shot of a 1972 penny, flipping it to show both sides. In 1972, the U.S. Mint produced over 4 billion of these pennies, so in terms of numbers, these coins are not considered rare. However, that doesn't mean all 1972 pennies are worth the same amount. Like most coins, their value is determined by factors such as condition, minting errors, and even specific varieties. So, even though millions of these pennies were made, there are still some that are much more valuable than others. Text on screen. Over 4 billion 1972 pennies produced. First up, let's talk about the importance of condition. The condition of a coin is one of the most important factors when determining its value. In the coin world, the better the condition, the higher the price. Coins that have been in circulation for years often show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and even dents. Cut to a side-by-side comparison of a well-worn 1972 penny and a mint-state 1972 penny. On the other hand, if you have a 1972 penny that looks almost brand new, or that is, a coin that has been kept in excellent condition without wear, then you may have something special. Coins that are in mint state or proved condition are more valuable to collectors. Text on screen. Mint state coins a excellent condition, no wear. Rarest coins and 1972 penny in mint state condition could be worth anywhere from $1 to $10 or more, depending on the exact grade. The better the quality, the more valuable it is. Now, let's get into the most exciting part of collecting: minting errors. These are the coins that are struck with mistakes during the production process, and they can make a coin worth way more than its face value. And yes, the 1972 Lincoln penny is no exception. Cut to a magnified shot of a penny showing signs of a minting error. Let's go over some of the most common minting errors to watch for in your 1972 pennies. First up, let's talk about one of the most famous and valuable errors in coin collecting: the double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled. The result is that the letters and numbers, like the year or the motto, will look like they've been stamped twice, and they're clearly visible to the naked eye. Cut to a close-up of a 1972 penny with a visible double die error on the date and the lettering. Rarest coins for the 1972 Lincoln penny. The double die error is most often found on the date or in the motto ae pluribus unum on the reverse. If you see that the numbers in the date are doubled, especially the A7 and the A2, you could have a valuable coin. Zoom in on the double die error, pointing out the doubling effect on the numbers. A 1972 penny with a double die error, depending on its condition, can be worth anywhere from $50 to over $200. And if it's in pristine condition, well, the price can go up significantly. Text on screen. 1972 double die error could be worth $50 to $200 or more. Next up, let's talk about another interesting variety of the 1972 Lincoln penny: the close AM versus wide AM varieties. Normally, on a 1972 penny, the letters A and AM in A America on the reverse side are a certain distance apart, but there are some rare,